Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Week in Review. This is a video where we go back and take a look at all the reviews we did over the past week. And so lots of different games we're taking a look at this week. So let's get started. Here we go.
Hey everybody, I'm Garcia. Here's what I reviewed last week. So I did Unsung Gems with the letter K, games that deserve more love. And then I reviewed Holly Jolly, which I rate a 7 out of 10. This is a neat little Christmas-themed, of course, card game in which you are just collecting sets. You're going to play cards and then collect sets from this tree you've built on the table in front of you. Very charming game. Very innocent feeling. Very adorable. The gameplay is a bit flat. I think the sort of game arc, the rise and fall of the tension isn't quite there as much as I would like it to be. The replayability maybe isn't quite as interesting, but I find the game to be very disarming. Just a charming, adorable, you know, a little bit of a game you put in the closet, bring out during the holidays every year, and then it goes back in the closet. Becomes kind of a traditional sort of card game. And then I reviewed a trilogy of games, and I'm going to go ahead and run through those now. So these are Cryptozoic publications. The one I rated the lowest is Don't Talk to Strangers, which I rated a 5 out of 10. This one is not as fun as I would like it to be. It is not as quick, perhaps, as I would like it to be. Not as engaging. The game's okay, but the other two were just better. So, those two better ones. Let's dig for Treasure, which I rated a 7 out of 10. This one is a very pure push-your-luck game. You are simply on your turn flipping cards over until you want to stop or you bust. And then everything these kids are digging up tends to be, you know, ridiculous and hilarious things. I like it a lot. Extremely simple to teach and extremely simple to play. And then Let's Summon Demons, which I rated an 8 out of 10, my favorite. This one is a dice-driven game in which you are collecting cards. You're buying these cards up. You are rolling dice on your turn, and if you roll the number that your cards activate on, then you get whatever they give you. You collect souls. You then get boys and girls and animals, and you trade those in for demons. And you get 3 demons first. You win the whole thing. That's it. I like it. That one's funny. It is a good game underneath all of the humor and the silliness, so it really worked for me. And that's it, everybody. Z Garcia. See you on the next one.
Hey everyone, Garcia here. This week I took a look at 3 games. The first game was Monasterium. I gave this game about monks and cloisters a 6. I like so many individual parts of what this game consists of, but I did not really care for the entire package. I thought the dice draft to it was not as good as other dice drafts that I've played in plenty of other games, and the rest of the game didn't carry through. Even though I liked a lot of it, it did not make it overcome what I thought was the main obstacle, was the main action driver. Wendy and I reviewed that one, so you can go see our thoughts on that. Next up, Kingdom Hearts Perilous Pursuit. This is a simpler, this is kind of a family weight dice chucking cooperative game. I gave it a 7.5. I enjoyed my play of this a lot more than I thought I was going to. It seemed so simple and basic almost, but you know, there's an okay amount of cooperation around the table and lots of stand-up moments of shouting and moaning when things go bad, and then, you know, cheering when things go right. And when someone rolls like a great combination of dice, it actually turns out to be a lot of fun. So I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. You can check out my thoughts, 7.5 for Kingdom Hearts Perilous Pursuit. And then lastly, Zapotec. Zapotec, I gave an 8.5. I'm really smitten with this game. It's very fast, it's very breezy, but it gives me the feelings of the trappings of a bigger Euro game, a game like Teotihuacan, but kind of reduced down to a clever little card mechanism and card and income mechanism, and it takes 35-40 minutes to play 2-player, and I think that's kind of a sweet spot. Also plays well solo. So overall, I'm really smitten with Zapotec, and this is a game that I'm going to keep playing. So 8.5 for that. That's been my week.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike DeLisio, and this was a light week for me review-wise. I was only involved in one, the 4-square review for Zapotec, the new Euro game from Board and Dice. I gave this one a 6 out of 10. It was a good game, but not one that I ultimately could recommend, because although they had some things I liked, I thought it had some clever card play, and I really liked how quickly it played. It was a very quick game for a Euro of this weight. It ultimately left me a bit unsatisfied. I felt like it kind of presented a bunch of options, and none of them I felt like you could really explore to their fullest potential. Pyramids that you want to build, but you can't really build them very easily, and tracks to go up that I really felt like were difficult to move. And by the end of the game, I felt like I didn't get much accomplished. So Interesting ideas, but ultimately not for me. All right, well, that's it for me this week. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so first of all, we did a 4-square review of Zapotec, which you may have already seen here. I liked it the least, actually. Zapotec, I gave it a 5 just because it just felt like part of a bigger experience. I didn't like how the game looked much. I thought the game gave a lot of promises. I liked the idea. I looked at it, but it just didn't pan out for me. Then I gave a 5 also to Disney Sidekicks. Disney Sidekicks, it has a beautiful look to it. It's a cooperative game from Spin Master Eric Lang. It's in stores. It's great. The problem with it is it's incredibly difficult. It's also not that innovative of a game, but I don't care so much about that. It's incredibly difficult, but it's a family weight style game, and I just think that it's going to turn people off. They're going to buy it, they're going to get beat up by it, and then not enjoy it. Camel Up Off Season is a sequel to Camel Up, but really only in the name and the fact that there's camels in both. This is an auction style game. There's a little auction in it, but also it's a card collection, and then you're putting cards on camels in different sets, trying to score points without overloading the camel. It's an interesting idea, and I like a lot of the game. This one, a 6.5, is just shy of a 7 because I feel like there's just one too many things in this game. They might have just streamlined it just a bit more. Dungeon Decorators is another 6.5 for me. This one is from the Red Dragon Inn folks, Slugfest Games, and you're basically drafting tiles and building this dungeon with decorations. It's nice, and the game works fine, and it's a pleasant game to play. But the theme, which I think is really critical to this game, doesn't come through strongly enough to make me enjoy this one as much. Night Parade. Now this one has 2 different rankings. The base game alone I gave a 6 to. It's good, but it's just feels a little bit lacking. There's a few minor problems with it as you're putting these cards down and running a row of columns. But the expansion makes it a little bit better, so that's when I give it a 7. The expansion adds an extra ability for defense purposes, and that lets you move cards from one row to another. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the review. But either way, it looks really pretty. Origins. This is another 7 out of 10. This is from Board and Dice. Now, this one and Zapotec I mentioned earlier in the same kind of category. Boards and Dice has a lot of these games where you're putting dice on a board and activating them in various ways. Origins is a game that has some theme about aliens coming in and giving you resources and stuff to build great cities. That's not really there, but there's a lot of it that I like. There's just different directions you can take. It slogs down a little bit near the end for me, and I don't know that it's super different than the other games that they came out, but there's also some really cool aspects of how you use and manipulate the dice. Seven Wonders Architects. This was a big surprise for me on how much I like this one. This is a quicker, faster, simpler version of Seven Wonders, but it really does feel like its own game. It is one of the best welcoming games I've ever played. Me and the kids took a look at this. We all gave it an 8. Just easy to set up, easy to teach, fast to play. It's going to work really well for people who don't play many games at all, and also for gamers. It's just a nice little filler in that way. And then Bitoku I also gave an 8 to, because this is the hottest game of the month for sure from Devere Games. Beautiful, gorgeous game. A lot going on, and there's a few things that it could do better for sure, but this little bit of deck building, little bit of dice placement, or a lot of bit of dice placement, I guess, and then just various actions that all come together. You're going to play it differently every time. I also did an overview of the Enchanters Deluxe box and the stuff that came with that, including the upcoming expansion. I did a 6 games to skip video where I talked about some games that I would not play. We did live plays of Machikoro 2 and Lords of Ragnarok. Our spectacular videos are still going up. From the Autumn Spectacular, the live plays, we're posting one of those each day. And we did a 10 games Z is wrong about, a fun list where with the joy and friendship we have with Z, but we had just a little bit of fun his way. Even if we weren't very cohesive about it, you can watch the video to see. So that's what happened on the Dice Tower this week. We have the full links to everything in the description below. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you later.